The test footage is out. I've run through some of the little tiny bits. I've set up the camera properly now, the microphone. I've got this, my rig is out of the way now. Great stuff with that. Thank you for all the views. I must say thank you to everybody for watching my videos. You know, at the time when I'm filming, it obviously is like really dry and boring because I'm sitting here in my car and talking to myself really like a presenter. I'm actually thinking of changing the channel's name, so I would like to hear what your thoughts are. I'm thinking of going with Honda E Delivery Driver. I think, you know, from shooting the test footage, I was talking about my own life, and really that is not Honda E reviews really. That is getting into my personality and all what I do as well. And I thought to myself, look, you know, let me just limit myself and just say, look, I'm a delivery driver and I'm making videos about that, about my deliveries, and on my way, you know, I can tell you things about the Honda E. If you are interested in the Honda E, then you can see what I'm putting it through, testing its paces and all these things. So yeah, I'm looking forward to all of this. It's just all brilliant. So yeah, after that first one, I don't think I'm gonna shoot a lot of reverse footage unless I have to, but it's really cool. I mean, you know, I am really happy with the microphone thus far. There's no issues. Let's just see. I've started my day right now. Started a shift. It's actually started at 3:45, but I had some things to take care of. There's a lot of things I had to take care of. I spoke to my mommy, and that was really cool. You know, always speaking to your mother is really very important. So I'm just gonna drive right now. This car's turning radius is amazing. I'm telling you. Sometimes I fear that I'm gonna knock something, but you know, obviously not. Wow, it wasn't even 5 seconds and I've got an order. Where is this? The high street. You know, the cool thing is you can take an order and say something happens along the way. For instance, if I decide to do it for no reason, basically I can then, you know, just cancel the order. You know, so nobody's gonna hold a gun to my head and say, dude, you're supposed to do this order. You know, that's the cool part. With one of the apps, I'm not gonna mention the name, I'm just gonna say with one of the apps, they don't allow you to do that. You have to actually chat into the chat operator and ask them to reassign the order, which takes some time. It takes like 7 minutes to get reassigned, you know. So sometimes it's quick, but it takes 7 minutes to get reassigned. So they make it difficult for you so that you don't reassign the whole time, so that, you know, the work gets done and they get done what they need to. Basically, it's all about them, really, you know. Because really, people don't really have a lot of, you know, you don't have a lot of say as a delivery driver, although you are building these companies up and doing most of the work. You don't have a say at all. Well, they just, you know, the system just gets better by, you know, feedback and so on. My friend's dad passed away. He's gone to his home country, and basically Pakistan. I don't know where exactly in Pakistan, but I'm thinking it's Islamabad. And yeah, that's a shame. His dad passed away, so he's gone to his dad. But he runs a business. He runs a business here around the corner, so I'm just gonna pop in there, see how everything's going. Not that they need me to be around there checking if everything's going okay. It's just that I come around here a lot. That's what I do, you know. When I had a combustion motor, he would be my mechanic, so I'm just gonna pop in here. So where's this order going?
Langside Road, then turn left onto Langside Road.
So I'm just gonna switch this woman off so that she doesn't interrupt me while I'm driving. I'm just gonna leave that on for now. Like, you know, this movement. So I'd like to keep my HDMI on while, but I can always still open more apps. So let me check what other. I'm not loyal to any of these these apps, delivery apps. Me, I'm just basically whoever gives me an order first. If the order's good and stuff, I'll take it. If it's not good, I'm not gonna take it. Sometimes they give you a ridiculous fee for traveling far, and that doesn't work all the time because I know I'm using an electric vehicle, but I don't want to be wasteful. So if the destination is too far out, I'm not gonna go. So I checked out the radio for the first time the other day, and I don't know if I showed you the aquarium, but the aquarium actually doesn't work when you're driving. So what's happening here? It's actually working. No. So the minute I stop, it's gonna. So here we go. I'm gonna put it into a park. Is that this robot? And that's the aquarium, so I can basically touch fish and stuff like that. Feed the fish, feeding the fish with a pebble, another pebble. And I just think it's a real gimmick, really, because who's gonna find that entertaining unless you're a totally stressed out person and you really need that comfort. Unless you are like that, you're not gonna see this. And so that's the aquarium. Just get that out of the way, because a lot of people, they've seen other reviews and that's what they believe they want to see. So, controls that I use a lot is obviously the displays. Display settings are found right here on this menu over here on this dashboard. So right here, you've got a menu. You've got volume, you've got audio, you've got display settings, and then you've got the home key, which is that. So so if I want to go audio, that's turning the audio off or on. And then basically, if I want to do any brightness or dimming, and then that's all done in here. Sometimes I like to switch the display off just for saving battery life, maybe, times when I'm running low. And just sometimes, you see somebody that's been annoying next to you, trying to peep into your vehicle, and I just switch it off because I like to be private. At the end of the day, it's my main worries in the world is my life is private and not all over the place. Saying that I'm here online making videos. But yeah, so really want to do some cool stuff with the channel now that I've gotten more relaxed, So sky's the limit. I don't know what I'm gonna do next, but might have some inserts, 5 things that I like, things like that, favorite things, stuff like that. But really, this is just for those people that haven't driven in a Honda E to tune into my channel and just check out, how it performs. And I'm not a driver that's, I'm not gonna wait. Like I said previously, I don't waste my mileage and my battery life. I try and conserve it. It's always in my best interest to conserve energy. So when this car doesn't drive, if I'm not working, this car is parked. This car doesn't go anywhere if I'm not going anywhere. If I'm not working, for instance, if I have to do something privately, I'm lucky enough to stay close to a train station and buses all over the place, and I've got a bicycle as well, so I've got other options if I need to travel for my own purposes. If I'm driving far out, I'm going to definitely take the car. I'm not going to worry about a million ways to get to the place where I'm going. It's far. But if I'm not, I am basically just traveling around in public transport, commuting like that. I just don't see the need for me to use this car other than for work purposes. And obviously, if it gets damaged or anything in my private life, then really my professional life is going to suffer, because that's really making my private life what it is right now. I mean, until I find another job, go back into the film industry or theater, maybe in that case I wouldn't drive the car so much and it would be more private driving. But at the moment, it is what it is. And so yeah, the camera is handling it very well. I mean, Blackmagic was doing really its magic. I mean, you know, I was looking through the footage. Actually, got to clean this. So here's this cloth that I got from Honda with, basically with the purchase. And it's just to wipe the screen clean because it gets dirty so quickly. Dust and other marks, you know. So just do this. Yeah, and the editing process is taking a little bit long though, because you know my computer is not of standard. Let's say that. So every time the more I'm using the RAM, you know, everything I'm doing within the editing suite, I'm cutting something or whatever, it's always basically just, you know, taking longer and longer the more things I do. So it's obviously because the computer has to keep that in RAM, in memory, to, you know, basically cut the video later. So that's why. And so my computer has reached its limit of 8 gigabytes RAM, which I have in it. So but I read online other people are saying that it's not a big issue. Some people are using older computer Macs, you know what I mean, and it's outdated and it's really slow, but they say they're getting there, which is, you know, fair enough. But I don't want to struggle, you know. It's the struggle just feels like it's, you know, taken away from your creativity at the point where you like got an idea, something goes wrong, the editing, you just forgotten it, you know. It's like that, because you got so many clips on your mind and what things you want to do, and when you actually do get to the point where you have to cut it, you're just forgotten about it because the computer took so long to render, and you know, so you lose some productivity, creativity. I actually don't want to drive around with the car with a camera in the daytime, because obviously I don't want people to think that I'm spying on someone. But what the heck, everybody's doing this in London. In London it's a different ball game, you know. Everybody's got a camera strapped to something, and here I am in Scotland, just got a camera strapped to my car. So a nice dirt truck in front of us. These guys bless their souls throughout coronavirus. I mean, they didn't stop working. Recycling in Scotland is amazing because we've got a lot of dirt bins for different things, and that's really the future, you know. A lot of countries don't do what Scotland does, but hey ho, we're lucky to live in Scotland. Very lucky. There's a lot of just the environmental aspect of living in Scotland is brilliant, you know. You don't see old cars, so what does that mean? That means that nobody's polluting the earth with clouds of smoke and dust and things going everywhere. And you know, that's really what it's at, you know. So I've reached my destination, and I'm gonna just switch the camera off rather than letting it run, because obviously I'm gonna be wasting battery life. But I'll speak back to you when I'm back and done. I'm back from the shop and gonna be heading on my way. Damn, this looks far. Let's see where this is going. Where is that? Easton, Partick, Highland Road. Okay, this is a long distance trippy. And that was going to bring me to my destination where I've got other work in another area, which is like Clydebank side. I'd like to go out to Clydebank. And the reason for that is when Just Eat started in Glasgow, they had three areas. The one was called Clydebank, the one was called Glasgow South, and the other one was called Glasgow. So basically they would give me, doesn't matter what, when, where, they would always give me Clydebank. Clydebank. I would be in Clydebank every single day, and you know, I didn't know the roads back then, but now I know it like the back of my hand. So that's why I like to, because this work, half of the job is basically food has got to be made in a certain, oh shit, you know, the food's got to be made in a certain quality, and it's going to take time, you know, quality takes time. So some drivers don't understand that, but the thing is, what I was saying was, if I'm driving, for instance, and now I've got 15 minutes basically, I would say, to get back to that restaurant to pick up that order when it's nice and warm and just made. It's not been there sitting, or I've been waiting too long and it's wasting my time. So where I'm going is just like around the corner, really. I want to actually save the battery life for when it gets darker, because really I know already from experience that there's going to be a lot of saturation on the screen because of the sun. And you know, I've got the ISO set like, you know, in between, so it can handle like a little bit of dark images and a little bit of light images. So it's really just there in that center of that balance. So yeah. Getting a monitor here. Yeah, I think I am getting a monitor. Yeah, definitely. And so, you know, it's funny that these things just work this way. But anyway, this is town. I'm driving through town now. So maybe I'll just keep quiet most of the time as well, just to let you know beforehand, before you say this guy just drives around and says nothing. No, I'm actually just gonna keep quiet so that you can get the experience. Maybe sometimes I can play music, you know, if I don't, but the problem is they'll obviously flash an ad, which I don't really want you to see, because that's not from me, it's just because I'm using music. So you got, you know, once you know where you're going, you've got your options become more, way bigger. That dog nearly put that dude. It's funny because, you know, it's just funny. It's not, you know, it's just gotta laugh.
The dog always put the guy.
Dogs in the UK are really well taken care of. I mean, you know, there's a big, luckily there's not a lot of animal abusers in the UK, because a lot of people, they actually love their dogs like they are their kids, you know. So that's the thing, you know. Highland Road. That's definitely Highlands Road. So when you know where you're going, it becomes easier. Just struggling to have time right now because I gotta keep doing what I'm doing, as in my work, you know, gotta keep my workflow going. There's an update on the percentage right here. We've got 112 miles. Actually just gained 3 miles from driving that road slowly. So that's the thing, you know, if you drive a road, I normally would have been traveling down that road 50. I don't know what it was at the moment, but yeah, it's just you can save miles like that. And I've got 87% on my battery. I started with 92%. I didn't charge my car full last night. This is a Partick in Glasgow. This is what it looks like. It's beautiful old buildings and nice steps in front of each building. You know, in Glasgow to own a place like this costs a lot of money, you know. This is like the upmarket places with steps in front of it and a garden at the back. In the UK, a garden is so important, like, you know, because there's not a lot of places that have their own, you know, not a lot of houses with their own grounds. You get suburbs here in Scotland, you know, further you go outside of the city, you get suburbs and they have tiny backyards, but nothing like, for instance, where I'm from, South Africa, Cape Town. Nothing like Cape Town, you know, big backyards. Every person has a big backyard. Doesn't matter how rich or poor you are, how big or small your house is, you have a big backyard. And that really makes life outdoors, you know, an often occasion. South Africans are always outdoors, doing something outdoors, walking bare feet. All these kinds of things. And so this is basically the west side of Glasgow. You know, student villages over that way, but still in the west side. Universities over here, you know. One of the biggest parks, Calvin Grove Park, is in the West End. And wish I could take you for a walk through the park at some point, because things I usually do. Murphy the dog, he has gone down to his birth mom, his dog mom. He's gone to visit her and his sisters. And I was just thinking, look at that dog. He's going on a holiday to his mom and his sisters in the train. I should show you a photo of him sitting in the train. I'll insert the I like it when the cameras get all cinematic like this. I mean, I wish I could zoom in on this, but look at that. The sun's behind me, and it just makes this whole experience feel cinematic. Anyway. Get back to town because that's where I have another order. And yeah, so I'm just gonna check the car's saturation. I want to check what it looks like, but it's fine. Let's hope it's looking beautiful. All these views I'm getting. Taxi drivers can just stop wherever they want to. It's the weirdest thing. Okay, we've got an ID3 in front of us, so the world is changing. We've got an ID3 in front of us. 21 plate. Bravo to that person. That's not a Honda, but something. changing the world into this electrical world that we want to be living, dependent on oil and stuff, that's not cool. A lot of delivery drivers with bicycles. The easiest way to make money in the UK right now is just get your bicycle, jump onto one of these apps, and it's a no-brainer. You know, like those guys always have money. You should see them when they're on their day off. They've got tons of money, you know, always looking smart, taking care of themselves, and you know, everybody needs that. I mean, if you're working in a job where the environment's not really cool, this is a job where you can set the environment. You know, this is my car. The car's dirty on the inside. Immediately my productivity and my whole positive mindset just goes down the drain. Because just the way it makes you feel, you know, driving your car, and you know, it's not really nice to, you know, drive in a dirty car, especially if I'm spending my whole day here. This is the whole thing. I'm setting this environment. If I'm tired now, I go home. You know, I don't sit around and wait for orders. If I'm tired or hungry or I don't feel like doing this today or something, I just go home right now. It's not, I can make it up tomorrow. You know, this is not a game where you kill yourself. You gotta pace yourself, and there's no job satisfaction really. Yeah, so the camera switched off while I was doing some daytime photography, but now we're back on. And it's nighttime. Like I said, it's better for me to do it at nighttime because then I can see more inside of the car and talk about more inside of the car. And yeah, I really got to get my list together. I think I will concentrate on doing these kind of long kind of videos, and that's like, you know, just to show what I'm doing during the day. And if there's something specific about the car, I will do a separate video on those things, and you know, that will just make things better. I think where I should start is actually I should start you know, talking about myself, I guess, and how I got to delivering food with a Honda E. You know, that would be an interesting story, because not every delivery driver has got a Honda E standing around. For those people that want to see more of the dash, I'm gonna be doing a talk on the dash. Work has been really bad. If I have to be totally honest, work has been absolutely bad. It's been like really quiet today. A lot of the drivers are complaining that there's no work. But it is what it is. Like I said, it's in summer, you know, in summer deliveries are more delayed than in winter. In winter it's like, you know, it's like crazy busy in winter, because obviously everybody doesn't want to go out and buy their own food in winter. So yeah, previously you couldn't see this aircon area, but now because I've trimmed the whole rig about 2 inches back, you can actually see what's going on here. And I gotta pick up somebody later from the station in town, so I have to make my way to town. I was gonna take a left here and see what the main road brings, but you can sit still and wait for things to come to you. And it's not the way that I like to do things. It's really bores me to sit around and wait for orders. So the way I do it is I am constantly moving. You know, as I've dropped off an order, I'd be thinking, what do I need to do? Not what makes me more money. I would think, what do I need to do? I need to go and buy washing powder. I need to go and buy toothpaste and things like that. So I will incorporate that in my day while I'm working. So if I've got to pick up something from the shop, like now it's dead, right? Nothing is happening to my phone. So right now, basically what I will do is set off and drive towards the closest supermarket where I can get those things quickly. And then, you know, basically when I've got those things, then I've done something for myself, and it doesn't feel like I've wasted my hour or my time right now just to be aimlessly driving around for waiting for an order. So you gotta always have something to do. Like me, even if I don't have something to do, I have something to do. You know, I've got things that I want to do. I want to go check out prices of things. I'm always looking out to buy stuff that I can resell. So I'm like always looking out for a good deal. So in order for me to do that, get the good deal at the right time, I kind of have to do it on an ongoing basis. So I'm not standing still, I'm not stagnating. Also, I'm constantly looking for other work opportunities, other ways to make money. And therefore, when it's time to, you know, when it's getting quiet for 30 minutes or so, I like to reflect on those things. And because, you know, sometimes if you pay too much attention to something, you're getting nowhere. But the little time, when you have like little time to do something and you need to get it done, it's kind of nice to, you know, to just go ahead and do it for the 30 minutes that you can, and then you get more out of the time than spending the whole day doing something, you know what I mean? So and there's lots to do for me right now, in terms of this channel, in terms of work, in terms of family back home. There's a lot I need to, you know, reflect on. And so I try and incorporate all of those things into one big little pot of what I need to do. So as soon as I have time to do something, I'm doing those things. I'm not wasting my time. And also with the filming now, there's things that I can do while I'm waiting at a restaurant. I head back to my car. If they say to me, look, it's going to be 15 minutes. In the past, if they said to you, look, it's going to be 15 minutes, you're like, yeah, 15 minutes, right? Because 15 minutes is a quarter of an hour. That is how, you know, you think it's a lot of a little time, but it's a lot of time if it adds up, you know. So I get back to the car and I set up the camera, or I do something related to the camera, put in a fresh battery, you know, check the camera, the quality of the footage, and before you know it, my order is ready and I've done something else that was productive for myself. So if you're thinking of doing this, you got to think about also bringing along your thinking hat. You can't just expect to that was me. If somebody doesn't drive and they're sitting on their phone, and this guy saw him sitting on his phone, and now he's next to, you know what it is, look at that, changing lanes, dropping lanes. Oh my gosh. This is the thing in Glasgow, people love their big vehicles. You know, it's who can have the biggest vehicle. That's what it's about, you know. My subscribers are growing. I am really impressed by my subscribers that are growing. You know, when you look again, then you see there's a couple of more subscribers. YouTube makes it so difficult for us to check who our subscribers are. It's people's names don't show, although they are subscribed. And I was thinking of doing a giveaway or something like that in the future. I'll think about giving something away that I would use, you know. so the first thing I like about this car that attracts me to electrical cars is the fact that it's quiet. Me, I don't like noisy cars. If I've had a car in the past that had an exhaust on that was noisy, I'd always swap it out. That exit is closed, my man. That exit is closed. Quietness of the vehicle. I like the fact that it's futuristic. You know, it's like something new. Not everybody's got one, so it's very unique. It's like, you know, that gives you a nice feeling. The mirrors, definitely the mirrors. Mirrors is a giveaway. It's beautiful. It's inside the car. It's convenient. The fact that I can stream the HDMI to the car, whether or not it plays while I'm driving, that right now is secondary. The fact that it can play my camera back to me is pretty awesome. Yes, look at this. Look at this. Up, 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 up. He's my boy. He's back in Glasgow. Let's go take a